How is it for you guys? But it's February now at the time of recording, and my resolutions are already all over the place.
Same. I still yet achieve yet.
That's the thing. Yeah, but before we go into that, let me just introduce our guests. So we have Jia Chung here. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey.
And before we get in the conversation on why we're here today, let's talk about your resolution. What's happening?
My resolution for real, I have to review right now. This is quite a big cliche lah. I mean, I'm 24. I'm still single. So that's one of them. That's one of them.
Okay.
So I'm still looking for one.
Oh, I see.
And then try to lose weight was also one thing, which again I did gain quite a bit. But yeah, still working on it. And then also try to achieve much more higher than right now lah. Because now still doing things alone.
Okay.
Not like usually I have friends now. I'm pretty much alone. So yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say your resolutions are way more better than mine. Because I'm older than you and I have none of them. like my resolution is only focused on one aspect of my life at this point, which is trying to get a job. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm not worried about the other aspects. Like, I'm also single. I'm not so worried about the aesthetics. I'm not worried about all the other things, not because they're not important, but because I don't really have space to think about them. So I would applaud you for still being able to think about it while doing what you're doing lah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good segue to introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Tell us what you do.
Okay, but first of all, my name is Jia Chung. I prefer Shaktra. You may just call me JC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my initials, and my friends currently in university, they will call me this nickname lah much more often.
I see.
So JC, I'll just go with that. I'm currently 24 years old. I'm now a postgraduate student, particularly masters in audiology UKM, but they mention it as health science, specialized in audiology lah. So yeah, currently just finished my first sem, but as I discussed with you behind the scenes, it's like we don't really have a break lah. So just now moving up to preparation phase lah.
Okay, preparation phase. That's a very nice way of putting it.
Hopefully, I put it in a nice way,
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So yes, I have no problem calling you JC. I actually know that your nickname is JC because you were introduced by another girl who was also called JC.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to
Yeah, shout out to that JC that we're talking about. So the only reason why I did not call you JC is because for now JC in my mind refers to her, but yes, I have no problem calling you JC throughout this episode.
Alright, alright.
So let's go into to your course lah. Why audiology in the first place?
Actually, when I just finished A levels, by the way, so I was searching for courses, and then I was like, in my mind, I was thinking of dietitian, nutrition, and because that was like way when I was in secondary school, because I love studying vitamins, and then somehow I also like sign language, which makes me want to, and also language in particular, which is why I go for speech science. But at the end of the day, it's like I discussed with my mom because I really need advice, and then she also did introduce me audiology, which I never heard of it. So I had this very strange feeling that I want to pursue it. So I just go like, okay, I'll just apply it as my first choice, and then speech, diet, nutri as my following choices. And I said, maybe I'm a bit religious. I'm a Christian, by the way. So I pray. I said, whichever comes to me first, I'll take it. And then audiology is the one that approached me first. So I was like, I'll take it. Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, because you said your mom was the one who introduced the course to you.
Yeah.
Is your mom in health science or in healthcare?
Oh, she was a former staff nurse in delivery, maybe. What's the department called? But anyways, it's more midwife nurse lah over there.
Okay. So you did your A-levels first. So your A-levels, I'm assuming you did in a private uni.
Yeah, Sunway College, Johor Bahru.
Okay, and then after you got into UKM lah. Okay. So how was your experience transitioning from high school to uni, to UKM at least?
Okay, this is a bit stupid for me to say that because I came from a boys' school.
Okay.
Everyone is boys, by the way,
Okay.
in my school. Shout out to Matap Sultan Abu Bakar English College. That was my secondary school, full of
shout
boys.
out.
Shout out, by the way. And then mingling with all boys, kan.
Okay.
And then suddenly moving up to UKM, my course, or rather say the faculty that I study in, basically there are more girls than boys. When the boys are literally the minority.
Okay.
Like imagine in my class, in my batch lah, only 3 boys, and with how many girls are? 15 or 16, 17 girls. Legit.
Okay.
So like, and that's one thing also. But in terms of studying, it's 2 different things. In high school, it's more towards like I need to study for the best to get good grades. In university, right, it's not just about grades anymore. It's also about your soft skills, your professionality, your personality as well. So in terms of that, because you are one step away from getting into the real world for working. So this is one thing that I need to shift my focus. I cannot just fight for good grades anymore. Of course lah, I mean good grades if I want to get myself a better resume. But that was no longer my focus anymore. I need to focus more aspects. So I think this is the one thing that makes me transition from a nerd in school. I was legit in secondary school. If anyone knows me, I'm that guy who studies at maths, bio, chemistry alone in one corner. And then I will legit have cold sweats during my trial exams. But now it's more like I screw up a little bit on exams, but more towards I want to work better on improving myself lah. So that was the shift of focus currently from high school to uni.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to pick one part of that. I appreciate you being super honest about it.
Yeah.
Because I think not everyone wants to talk about how hard it could be transitioning life, just navigating your life in uni.
Correct.
Because and also the fact that you said that grades were not the whole focus.
Yeah.
Like yes, let's be real, all of us want good grades.
Yeah,
Okay,
correct.
we were all chasing for the dekan list, for the dean's list. We totally get that.
Oh man. Those days were over.
At least in your masters, you don't have to, you don't have to chase for CGPAs already.
No. Actually, there is.
Oh, you just still?
There. No, it's not the one that we asked about the dekan anymore.
But
it's more like the pathway that you want to fast track. So there are people saying that if fast track, if you get really good grades and you have good progress, but you wish to have a fast track to directly convert from masters to PhD, then okay. But also one condition is that your proposal is PhD worthy. Yeah,
understood.
so only that is like it's a fast track. But yes, CGPA is also one of the criteria as well lah.
Okay, yeah. So conversion to a fast track is the new academic standard. Yeah, actually that's a good point you
that's a
raised.
good point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, at this point, no one is looking at your grades as in your grades, but it's more on the quality of your research. The progress of your research.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So, but the reason why, like I said, why I like the fact where you mentioned about grades is not the most important thing, because it is not the most important thing, right?
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
literally the point of life where you are learning about who you are, learning about your soft skills, learning about the things that you can bring to the table.
Exactly.
Right. So it's not only because when you talk about job hunting or job seeking, or at least from my perspective as someone who is currently navigating unemployment, it is not only about the grades alone. It is literally about what you're going to do in the situation where you could appeal yourself as someone who is better than the rest.
Yeah.
And when you navigate things like cold calls or just reaching out to new people in general, there are other skill sets that you need to use. So this is probably where the soft skills come in. And this is probably the thing that everyone tends to talk about, like in those career fairs or those ceramah kerjaya, to those who tend to attend all these kind of sessions. You would tend to listen to the term soft skills a lot.
Yeah.
And I
exactly.
think now currently being this phase, I totally understand where it's coming from. So I like the fact that you said that grades are not the only thing that's important. There are other aspects to it as well.
Yeah.
But okay, that was a bit of a nice story. I'm just going to plunge it on to your actual real story.
Yeah.
Give me a moment where you felt like, I just want to quit. Were there moments like that in your course?
Relating back, it's actually 3 years ago. So it's like during my second year, Sem 2.
Okay.
So it was like, I still remember that Sem was the one of my busiest semester, which I little did I know it goes even worse or after that. So second year, second Sem was the Sem that I had four big events actually. I can say that some people say you deserve it lah, but legit I can say I can deserve it. I hold like what they call MT, which is like the highest position. I was the vice president for each of the events, and one is as an MC. So so it's like I'm very busy and I have to juggle that semester, which as a person which haven't yet get into clinical years yet, it was one of the toughest semester I had. So I remember there was that one subject, it was very difficult. I need to study the brain wave on how the test it goes by, and for those science students, you will know lah, studying brain waves and everything were very, very difficult. It's very complex. So, but interesting lah. But it takes me efforts to actually study. But I remember it was the event with 5 days after I just finished the MC part event. 5 days after that, I lost my laptop. So my house when broke in. Okay, it's my rental house, by the way.
Oh wow!
I rent outside, so I didn't stay at the college. I don't know how did that fella just broke into my house and stole my laptop and a phone. So when I came back, it was like, sheesh, this is not a good sign. And then I was like rummaging my house. I found nothing. I make a police report, and then legit, aside from like have only a few friends to help, like just to help me like managing things a little bit, searching for evidence, finding for things is all by myself. When my other friends are all having classes, I emailed my lecturer. I'm sorry doctor, because my house had a broke in, so I had to skip for a week's class. Legit. So I
were all the classes virtual at that point?
Physical.
Okay.
Physical. So that's quite tough lah. So I had to search it all by myself, and thank goodness is that my mom just came all the way from Johor to help me to go for a police report, and then we tried to do things, but end up we didn't get it.
We didn't get it back.
We didn't get it. But what comes after this is because that event, that particular incident happened 1 month before my finals. And I had 3 events yet to finish it. So I have to struggle mentally on to do it, and then I have to just clench my teeth, handle every single thing, just finish what I started. And then with all the reports gone, I have to catch back all the progress and rushed all the events within that 1 month. And then after that, I have to, because that all of the subjects in that semester were very difficult, kan? So I have to restructure every single notes. I didn't back up. That's the point.
Wait, just to clarify for context, all your notes were digital. Oh wow.
Digital, there is physical form, but which is a little, is considered quite little.
Okay.
And then because all of my notes were all digital, so I don't have backup. So like and all my notes are all in backup. I didn't back up, so I have to structure it every single thing again.
Oh god.
1 month before the finals, and in between them, I did not count out any quizzes lah. That's even worse. So thank goodness is that I barely clenched my teeth and passed that semester. But what comes after next is because my notes were stored like virtually, starting from the first year up until second year. So all my notes gone. I have to do it again. And then sem break goes on. Moving up to my third year, it was the year that I just stepped into clinics. Back then, I remember it was still busy, but at the same time, because I struggled in clinics, I once had like 1 or 2 nights, I called my mom, I cried. I said, Ma, I cannot handle children at all. Why? I like kids in the first place. I was in church. I had some time with children. I enjoyed the time.
Okay.
But why did I cannot solve it? You know, I feel very frustrated, and then many times I got scolded by my supervisor, which I don't want that to happen. Maybe you can say that I'm a perfectionist, lah, but I want to do it, like I want to do the best for the patient, and I also want to get good grades at the same time. I
Yeah,
don't want
of
to fail.
course.
So I legit had this thought, like I want to quit. I said to my mom, I said, why is this the right choice I picked? And then also because it not just about that, like in the past semesters, every sem must almost has its problem. First sem, I first got in, I got scammed. My band scam lagi.
Wow.
Second sem, I had COVID. 1 week before an exam, which I screwed up. I failed that quiz, but luckily it just barely passed that exam. But that was still fine. And now moving up to that semester, it's like this thing happens, and I was like, legit, I have to do this all by my own. If I have friends tell me and say, why not just stay strong? I say, shut your mouth, man. Shut up. Like, legit, why are you telling me to stay strong at this point when I'm, instead of like sending me like maybe can help a bit. Of course lah, like you can't be in my situation, of course, but at least not just asking me to stay strong at that point ma. So I legit not feeling that good. Even up to my second sem of third year clinic was a horrible one. I passed that one, barely passed. So with that thought, I actually went into intern with a very questionable thought: should I continue? And should I continue other things? Because I also like doing other jobs like caster. I'm a esports caster at the same time. So I would say, why not? Maybe I can do more on casting job or hosting job, which is much more enjoying for me. But after thinking back, it's more like my mom did, not to say scold me lah, but she said this about like she told this is that what things that you enjoy is not what you can do it for your life.